Hey friends, and welcome back to Path of Exile. It's been about 2 weeks since the league started, and it's been going pretty well for me. The progression has been slower than I've wanted, but let's catch you up on what all we've done. So we've taken down 3 of the 4 Watchstone bosses, still working on Uber Elder, which is mostly an issue of skill, because we've got plenty of damage. I just keep getting caught in Shaper Beams. So, what we've done with the build so far, we have upgraded to an apostate build. I'm not sure this is the best way to do this, but I wanted to go with a low life variant of this build rather than the evasion ES. So we've got low life now, and the apostate with some big energy shield items, which are our helmet and our shield. Both of these I crafted with Necropolis. The helmet is almost entirely Necropolis, and then the shield is Necropolis, which I then did, prefixes cannot be changed, reroll cold for the cold resistance, and then I blocked the Warcry mod and slammed a Hunter Exalt on it to get the reservation efficiency, and then just crafted on the Fire and Lightning res. So, very nice shield that we got here, and this is where we're keeping 3 of our big auras. We've switched to Determination and added Petrified Blood. The other thing we did is switched over to Ralakesh, and this is a fairly recent thing. Ralakesh has come down in price. It is now a couple, I think it's like 100 chaos is the cheapest I saw for a corrupted pair that didn't have anything. I got this pair with Corrupted Life for 2 div. So Ralakesh is much more achievable now, and while it makes my build really slow, the defensiveness of always having endurance charges and then the speed we can get from our shield dash is plenty for with the frenzy charges. So we have that going on. We are using a ton of damage recoup on our low life build. We have, I think, 70% damage recoup right now. So that is where a lot of our sustain is coming from. And then for mana cost, we are using Eldritch Battery, and that energy shield is all coming from our belt. I do want to switch and have our ring here be the source of most of that energy shield, and then we're going to switch to Olesyas Delight, which is instead of frenzy charges we gain affliction charges. So that's the plan there, but that is something to work toward. Plenty of other things to do, but most of the gear on the build feels really good. I think this is about as good as I care to get for the dagger. There are upgrades that can be done, like getting a +2 all or +2 gem dagger as opposed to a +1, but I'm not really worried about it. This is plenty right now, I think. And then we got a corrupted Storm Secret. Eater, Exarch, and Maven are the boss fights that I've got going on in the background, and I've got the POBs at the time of defeat for each of those down below. Now, this progression has taken me much longer than I expected, but a lot of that is because I stopped and spent a lot of time testing out different farming strategies, playing around with the Atlas, and respecking and unspecking all of the Atlas tree nodes. And so I spent a huge amount of time not leveling very much, which I think has hurt my progression overall. I'm only level 93 right now. I really need to get up to like level 95 or 96. That would actually help a great deal, because I would get a gem slot out of it, as well as possibly some more damage. But yeah, the build is going well so far. Right now my plan is to farm some Shaper rotations for the fragments and the Maven's Writs, which should be able to get me some nice amount of currency, and I'm going to do some harvest while I'm doing that, just for some passive currency gain. One thing I do want to point out is one thing I'm using is the Parandus Pact with chaos damage as the passive, and this gem is incredible. A lot of people have already pointed it out. This is a huge source of damage on a build where we already struggle to get damage. So right now, this gem is giving us 108% increased chaos damage. And if you're looking at the POBs, that's why I have the custom modifier, because right now POB doesn't work with Piranda's Pact. Outside of that, another damage boost that we picked up is Elemental Overload, which is huge, but you have to make sure that you have enough crit for those. And so we have 2 self-fulfilling prophecies, which gives us a crit rate of about 2.8%, which isn't 100% uptime, but it's pretty close. And with the switch from Grace to Determination, we of course needed to change to Uncompromising on our small cluster over here. And we're also using several tattoos to make up for a poison hit so that we can drop chance to poison support. So right now, Herald of Thunder is sitting at 103% chance to poison without using chance to poison support, so we can fit a better support into the build. So that's the update for the build for now. Again, I think our next steps on this version is I'm going to replace this ring with a ring that is going to have a nice amount of energy shield so that we can replace the belt with Olesyas Delight, and then we need to generate frenzy charges somehow. I think what I'm going to end up doing is going for Forbidden Flesh and Flame for frenzy charge ascendancy on Raider. Yeah, that's the update for now. Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy the boss fights.